Hi everyone. So today it's gonna be a long video. So I hope you guys grab some popcorn or something, be settled. And this is totally unscripted video. I haven't given a lot of thought about it, but I know the basic parameters to what we can talk. So a lot of thing I will be saying it from my ass, right? Instantly thinking and letting you know, right? So recently, few days ago, I got this idea. Like you can think like woman as employee and man as employer, right? I've read these books, right, where they describe man as Mars and woman as Venus, right? This kind of analogy, right? Or maybe there could be another analogy like women are like cat and men are like dog or something like this, right? So they hold a lot of truth. These analogy kind of help you to understand the dynamic, right? But the best one I came across is woman as employee and man as employer, right? This actually solves like if you are a guy who have worked out in her life, who had studied right, who is doing a great job, or maybe he has his own business or something like this, right? And he's working his family. He's doing all the things right. Maybe he's working out as well, right? He's fit as well, right? He's not unfit or something, right? So so then but these guys they don't have this understanding how women works because they have been prioritizing their work trying to make themselves. They've never given any knowledge. They don't have a zero knowledge about this thing, right? For me, somehow I went through breakups or only one big breakup, I would say, that taught me a lot of lesson. Then I like to read and I like to watch a lot of things. So I just somehow become red pill and then try to understand women in a better way. And I'm quite bit successful at that I would say. But somebody who don't want to waste that much time, right? Who who could not come across this content as I've gone through, right? And they don't have this expertise in this kind of thing, right? For them, one simple hack, one simple knowledge analogy they can use every time whenever they have to take decisions regarding women, family, and this kind of thing, right? So that we can so he doesn't has to go through all the knowledge gaining process, red pilling process, right? They have to you have to maybe if you are the guy, if you have to take my word by my mouth, like what do we say, just take this word and apply it. Just think you are the employer, right? One who hires people, one who pays their salary, one who takes care of their candidates, employees, and the women's are the employee, right? Who seek job, who go under some organization, some company or something like this, right? And they want to be there or something like this, right? So this dynamic really helps. This dynamic really helps that if you follow this dynamic, I don't think you will never make like if you are a good boss, if you are a good guy, entrepreneur guy who understand business well and he doesn't fails, right? He will probably will have good employee, basically good woman in the life, right? But problem is that lot of you guys will not be a good boss. Lot of you guys, if you start today, let's say there are so many men out there, right? If you are smart enough and if you start a business, only I think 20% will be the guy who will able to do the business and the rest of the 80 will fail. If you have any business knowledge, how business works and everything, right? But those 20% guys, right, who understand business, how things work, right? They can also be good with women at the same time. If you just apply those same concept, like even if you're an employee right now, maybe you are in the somewhere in the state of employee and employer, right? But you understand the dynamic, right? You as an employee, right? So lot of time you want to think from women's perspective, right? To understand them or something, right? And what the mistake we do is we think like a man, even though we are thinking that okay, we think that men and women are equal, and then we think that whatever I am thinking, whatever things which I feel bad about them, the girls will also feel bad about them. The things which makes me happy, that will also make the girls happy, right? That's not the way, right? So the better analogy is women as employee and man as employer, right? And you can apply a lot of knowledge from both this field to this field, right? So first of the problem, if you are watching this guy, your problems are very minimal, right? First finding the employee, right? First finding, I think the most of the audience over here will be in the problem of getting their first employee, right? They don't have an employee, they don't have even in life, right? So how could you like get first employee of your life, right? First thing, right? How would you get it, right? So there are two, like if you're employer, right? If you're a boss or something, there are two kind of bosses, right? One is uh, very organized. What we say, company like big company like Google, Microsoft, big companies, Tata, TCS, whatever, right? Any big companies you think like, are you that kind of a person? Or you are somebody who is a dropout and who is a startup guy who started his company, right? So most of the probably you guys for now I think fits in the startup category, right? You're a boss of a company who is a startup, right? As a startup, think like which person will likely to join you. Think in this way. Which person will likely to join you, right? Say, think about that as a person, and then transverse it for women, right? So as a startup, let's say I have joined as an employee, I have joined many startups, right? That experience I would share. So first, the recent company which I joined, I was the first employee over there, right? And why I joined that company was that I wanted to work into a certain field, which was very new and nobody was talking about it, nobody was working in it. And so basically that idea was very rare and any company was not doing. So there were very less companies, right? And there was big companies where I applied and they didn't wanted to take me because I didn't come from like big college, university or something like this, right? So they didn't pick me. So this is the my CEO, my boss, right? For him, I reached out to him on person or something like this, right? He was also looking for employer, something like this. So the idea is why I chose to be a guy with somebody, right? If you have this right goal you are working through, and some employee, maybe a woman, something like this, why would she would? They both have to align to the work which they are doing, right? They both have to align that okay, this guy also wants the same thing, I also want the same thing, and he can pay me for doing this thing because I'm not there at that level, right? So I found my CEO. We tend to like he was doing the thing. He was going through the goal, which I also wanted to go through. And I was a very high paying employee because my previous jobs and everything, right? My value was more than what he could pay, but still I joined it because still I joined it because I knew the idea, right? And there was a hope that if I join it right now, probably when the company grows, I was the first employee. Maybe I will be in the partnership position, right? Maybe I could be the CEO or something like or co-CEO, whatever the ranks are, right? If you join, if you help somebody in their initial days and stay along with them and grow through them, right? There is a very high chance that you can become partners, right? So somebody as a startup guy, like if you're thinking you want a girl, right? Basically you want an employee. One way is you have to improve your personal brand, right? So for me, I would always check the CEO, what kind of work he has done, right? Did he had some substantial thing which I can look for? So then you have to know the personality, right? You have to make up your personality. And I don't think lot of people as a boss, right? Lot of people will not join you. There will be very good talented employees who will not join you. They will basically go to some safe organization which is doing the same thing, right? So only few the selected the right ones will come to you who agrees to your goal, right? So as a person you have to tell the world, like if you want your first employer, first woman, you have to you have to somehow advertise yourself, right? That this is your goal you wanted to do in your life and I'm hiring for it. This is my number, you can reach out to me if you feel like this is your goal. And Yeah, tell them you want this is how what I'm looking for. I will not able to pay you that much money because like most of you will be broke over here or something. Like you're not rich. If you're watching me right now, if you're probably not that rich. But if you stays with me, I will make sure that you guys become that rich, right? That is the crux. So yeah, if you're watching me right now, I don't think you will be that rich right now, right? Uh, so how some low paying company, how a good employee will join a very low company? This is the only way that they align with your purpose. They believe in your ambition. They believe that you're not there still and they will go, right? So right employee will probably reach you, right? A right employee will probably reach you, try to reach you and will get to you. Somehow you will have to advertise yourself, right? As a person, you are the entity right now, and you said, this is my goal, this is my plans. Currently, I am here. This is my background, right? As a boss. So you have to build this thing for you to get your first employee, right? First woman. That is it, right? So even there is no, so now I can also relate cold approach with this thing, right? You must have, if you are on LinkedIn or somewhere, right? People will be reaching out to you for the job, right? There will be so much scammers reaching out to you. They will forcing you to, oh, this part-time remote based job, something like this, right? Probably you are not interested because they are coming too hard on you, right? They're probably the as a employee you wants to go to company who was not after you, you are after them, right? Something like this dynamic should be always there, right? So yeah, over there you can reach at one time, right? If you see Google and big companies, they will never reach to you personally to hire or something like this, right? And they will reach you, but once you are like very experienced, very talented, and very like whatever they are looking there. But most of them will not reach you, right? So same way you can. One way is like if you do everything right, employees will reach you. Basically, women will reach you. That need lot of proofs, right? That need you have to be very visible to everybody, and like this. And there's basically you'll get everything, right? A very good employee and everything, right? But if you're a startup, how they will reach to you? You have to advertise themselves. You have to tell your plans, and only person will reach to you which actually aligns with it and who has same ambition as you, right? Lot of there are, so employee has also two categories, right? One tries to grow and become partner. One is only there for money and then maybe wants to switch and whatever the next opportunities comes or something like this, climb the ladder, and they go like this, right? Same way, this is the thinking of employee, right? Either they wants to become CEO, have chill work life balance, grow together with the company. Probably the guys who are joining the startups are probably like that, right? So same way there you will be approached by some people who just want to make money, and then you dump you and go to next thing, right? And there will be some good person. So what as a guy, what as a CEO, I will never say no to anybody, right? If somebody is doing, see, at that point of time, at that scenario, right? If they are the person, if they are the thing which I'm looking for, maybe it is for short, I'm okay giving them opportunity. And if they have mindset of like if we both have some good value exchange, right? This guy is coming for money and giving me some value and just helping me throughout that period of time, I'm okay for the short term job contract, right? So same way, if some girl, maybe they are not the best, and at that point of time, it is giving you value exchange, right? So you can have a short contract work with them, right? You can basically, that is basically dating, right? So if there is a somebody whose intentions are only to make money and just her profit only, somehow they are getting value exchange, and then you can basically hire them. You can get it, right? So think, if you think in this way, I think you will understand how to get a woman. Like think from now. Second question is that how you can retain an employee, how you can retain a woman, right? If you are you guys are, if you are working, you will know that which company you want to be retained, which company you don't want to leave, right? So a good company where the work life balance, you've been loved by your CEOs and they They take care about you. They prioritize you. They prioritize the business, and the same time they prioritize you as well, right? They are mindful of your work, what you're doing. They understand you, right? And they give you good incrementation, right? And they never leave you high and dry somewhere. And your incrementation, if you are that valuable guy, you are rewarded for your work, and that will happen, and you will never feel like living, even though in the path you might get good opportunities, but you will see like, okay, this guy is giving me good money, my progress is I'm making, I'm talking to big people, I'm going. If you are climbing the rank, so I don't think then there nobody, no employee or woman will leave you, leave your company, right? As a boss. Same way in the relationship. Now you got your first employee. Now you got your one woman, right? How would you, how would you make sure that she is there? You can retain. So first of all, you have to maintain the frame that you are the boss, she is the employee, right? And there is no point, you don't have to be afraid of somebody who is very smart or something like this, right? A lot of people in red pill state don't want to kind of afraid of dating intelligent women or masculine women or something like this, right? uh is it like if they are too masculine that you're challenging your leadership? If in that case, right, let's say my company's goal is something, and if she is smarter than me, if she has better leadership qualities than me, I am okay stepping down. And if she can sail my boat way faster, way better than me, and my goal is to reach that destination, right? If she becomes a captain, if I feel like, if she makes me believe that she is the right person who will take me there, and because I'm kind of submitting to that person, right? And make sure that she doesn't dump me when she has all the authority or something like this, right? If you find a woman who is way smarter than me, employee way smarter than me, way better leadership quality, have the same goal, same destination, we are going through the same task. And also I guess this trust kind of feeling that, okay, even if I lose my reins, if I give my control, she's not going to abuse me, or that employee is not going to abuse me, and they're going to take care. If you have this feeling, I am okay submitting to women even, I would say, right? If they can do it better than you, right, I have no problem doing that. So if that is the dynamic, this will be very rare. I don't think that kind of employee will find. As a employer, right? As an employer, you will see that you rarely will find that kind of. If you find that candidate, really, but you cannot make them immediately. They have to jump through the hoops, right? They have to go through this loyalty test, and within a period of time, there you can submit to them, right? Then you can totally understand, and then they will go, right? But problem is that people become like a lot of employers will become egoistic and this kind of thing, and if they are right and they will not do right to them, so they will probably leave, they will start their own company or something like that, so you will lose that woman. So just apply the same logic, what things you will do to retain an employee, right? You make them like, basically you value their work, you appreciate them, you whatever, right? You guys know, if you have been an employee you will know, right? So that same way applies to women as well. Now, something about monogamous and polygamous, right? So, as a company, would you like to only have one employee, right? Would you like to have, like, if your work is very small, right? A very small scale business, right? Probably I will only need one employees and then some part-time contract work and somewhere here there to help, right? If your job is something like this, very small. And hiring, you can only hire. So last company why I left was that in my company there was another guy who was hired, and I think the company was not in a very state because I was already underpaid. I was supporting the company because I was aligning to the goal and everything, right? And the company started taking advantage of it, right? So instead of giving me a raise or making sure that I stay with them, they hired another guy. I not like the hiring was that it was a very smart guy or he was bringing more value or something like this. That was not even the case, right? Again, I was managing that person as well, and then I have to hear from CEO as well. So that was bad, right? I would say that point you cannot hire, right? You have to make sure that the first person is well paid and he's there, he's trustable, he's gonna stay with you in a long run, right? So if you hire too early, that was, I would say it was too early. I was not taken care of well, and then you start thinking, then you wanted to split the resource, right? So then if you go, like if you want to have a girlfriend, wife at the same time, or you want to have two girlfriends, bro, you cannot have it, right? You cannot have it. Only few big companies, right? Big companies can have it. They can have multiple employees, and their employees are not loyal to them, right? They will be there for 1 year and then jump off. They will be 2 years and jump off. Then there will be some senior employees for them, right? Who was with them. The same way, retaining works at the same way, right? How a company employee and everything, right? One thing I missed about the finding the employee, basically finding the woman, right? You should not be shame reaching out to first, right? A lot of people have reached out to me, and there are people who like forcefully try to again and again reach out to you. Probably you don't want to join that company, right? If they are coming too hard on you, probably nobody is joining them. That's why they are hiring everybody, right? There would be companies like that, right? So you have to advertise once reach them, and then you have to take back your frame, right? You can have advertisement one, just make the point of point. You give them trailer, this is the how I am. If you want to join, then again you have to step back. You reach forward, you kind of like lose your frame a bit and while reaching, and then again take back your frame, and then you become on the high ground, and then they have to decide they have to join you or not, right? Coming back to retaining employee or retaining woman. So you cannot never go for this. You cannot hire multiple people if you're the first one is not being taken care of it. Or you have to make them believe that we require another person. We require another person, otherwise we both will fail. And that emotional trust should be there. Everything has to be shared. So for me, I've seen a places where that happened. And the good companies, like let's say let's say you got your first employer, they were really doing great. You are promoting, are giving money, you are earning because of that employee. You both worked hard, you were able to land clients, made bunch of shit money. Then you do good to her, and then you have the whole system. Now you hire. I think that will probably work. So you can have another employee as well. But yeah, so then you go, and so think about this big company. Like let's say you became a big CEO, right? You became a very rich guy, right? Very rich guy, cars, money, everybody respects you, have the status. At that time, I don't think you will find your partners. Partners are basically one who joined you initially, right? Or you can find a partner, like there are exceptions, right? You can find a partner who maybe a basic, like just like there's so many women will join you, like when you become this high entity, just like so many people gets hired in this big company, right? Few of them will be there for money, something else, and they will work, and then they don't like it, they will leave the company, join something which has bigger, and then there will be a few who will hire, like climb the ranks and become some big partners or something that company, right? So if you are rich and big shitty rich, right, that case you can follow this big company's hiring methods in place, right? You don't have to reach out, people will reach out to you, right? Everybody knows you, right? Some girl will reach out to you and through your Instagram, and this is when you become a very high company, right? If you're at that level where people are trying to reach you, think you are a big company, you're Google, Microsoft, Facebook, Meta, right? That level. And now, same way, you will not hey immediately make this person like your wife or the partner. You cannot make somebody reaching out to you and marry them, right? If you are big enough, you cannot make. They has to go through the process, and then they can become your partner, right? Form partner, CEOs, right? These kind of things. So somebody who is good, right? So how will you identify somebody is good? So you have to understand their potential, like they are coming from very good school or something. That is basically they are coming from a good family, right? Now you are like in abundance state. Now how would you choose? Like there are so many people which wants to join, and you have limited resources to give, right? You cannot hire everybody. You cannot fuck everybody, right? Because if you do, you lose resources, and the current employees might leave you. in that sense, right? So you have to very wise with this decision. So how would you see, what kind of woman would you avoid? What kind of employee would you avoid? Somebody who is coming from bad school or something. It's not that, first of all, you go, your interview process is very complex, right? So you can filter out. So in the interview round, what is the way to decide? If you come from good school, which is known and popular and everything, good family, that is basically a good family, right? Second is that if you've been a previous employee, let's say you're not fresher and your background history is like you worked in a company for every company 6 months, 4 months, right? And you have left, you keep changing the switches and everything, right? That is probably you would say a bad employee, right? That is then not a very good employee. That will not probably. Uh, so basically, if somebody has a bad history, right? Then probably you don't want. Same with women, right? So the only so one thing, if you see the CEOs and everything, ones who joined them very initially, right? They have only become CEO or something like this, right? And most of the time people will stick to the company if there is a first company. If somebody keeps in the habit of leaving the company, that habit continues and they eventually leave you as well, right? The most of the time these kind of things. So there will be women who have been leaving a lot of men from their past life. Sometimes they will leave you as well. This kind of track, if you see, right? There would be exceptions, right? They have been not treated. If they join you and they treat you, but they comes with a trauma, right? For me, I have trauma of working in companies where I have been not treated right. Even though if I join a company, they are being right to me. My past trauma will definitely come in the way, and I will always doubt and something, right? It will be like it's like a homeless dog, right? When they are so afraid, and even the hand is coming to help them, they will feel like this hand is coming for attack them, right? So this trauma kind of pushes it there, that they take more time to trust, they more take time, but it's very hard, right? So instead of avoiding so much resources to that person, right, as a company, I think you should go for somebody who is scratch fresher, who have not gone through this kind of abuse or something like that. And person who has left so much company, at that stage they are not, I will not consider, they should not be employee, they should become employer, right? A woman who have changed so many partner and has not, she could not settle with anybody, at that age she should accept that she is the boss, she is the man, and now she has to find a woman or something like that. For with them only she can be like like that is the work they could do. So something like this. Am I leaving something? Yeah. So that was retaining, right? So you can imagine, right? I've give you the pointer, and now talking about promoting an employee, or like if you got a woman, how they will help you. Basically, at the time you have to promote them, you have to treat them right and everything. Then they can only steal, right? And when somebody, let's say my job, my father is in a job, is like 25 years old or something like this. So probably for him this will be his last job, right? At the end, they don't feel like living there because they have been so complacent in the company, right? Lot of time, lot of employees will not leave a company because the company has treated them so right, the boss has treated them so right and everything. They became complacent. They can only work for this guy. The requirements, the skill set he has is only helpful to this company. Other companies will not value his skill set, so they also cannot leave, right? So you have to like basically like overfeed them, make them fat and everything, whatever, right? They will not leave if you want that. So I think we can go on and on uh, discussing points, but the idea remains the same, right? And you will say, okay, there are so much, as a man and woman, there are so much emotions involved and everything, right? I know it, but this is the hard fact. This is the reality. I feel bad leaving. I feel like a heartbreak when I leave my company. Like I have to go through like fucking trauma before leaving. Because when I join, never think join while joining that I'm gonna leave them, right? I always think joining I'm gonna here to stay. I'm gonna like there to both side get hurts, and that is a part and parcel of the life. uh, if somebody is really, I don't think you will, who doesn't want to live, you will change rules for them and something like this, right? If they bring so much value. In so while hiring, like if I'm taking employees or hiring or something, in the workplace, I think looks doesn't play that a role. Some specific jobs they are look oriented, right? But in as a man and woman partnership, right? As a business in man and woman, their looks are important. So basically, you can replace one of the skill set as a looks, attractiveness or something like this. That will make sense. And let's say you are being approached by a really beautiful woman, and she has some red flags, some bad flags, right? Basically, you are getting an employee who is really good in one skill, right? And the rest of the skills are fucked up. He is late, not punctual, not trustworthy, or something, right? And at that point, you require that kind of tool. So you can probably have him short term, and as soon as you can find the replacement, kick in the ass, right? So either you become very selective of what you are, or whatever you can hire at that point of time, you can have it. And if they are true to you, you can both grow, you can make them partner. And if they are disloyal, even you are doing everything right and they are fucking up, then you can find a replacement, right? And as an employer, as a boss, you should not like, maybe you can have first employer, but they should always let them know that they could be replaceable. If you fuck up right now, they could be replaceable. Even though they love that employer, they have a relation, you will never think about replacing them. And you have to have interns, you have somebody around, right, who keeps them on their toe as well, right? You don't want to make them so complacent at the same time. So we can go on and on, but the basic idea: man as an employee, woman as an employee, a man as an employer. If you think this way, all the women decision you want to take in life, if you follow this small analogy, 99% of the time you will do right. And but problem is that it is 20%. This all spectrum, if the total people who are watching, only 20% of you are a good boss, and 80% of them you are not good boss. So probably the 80% will fuck up somewhere. There will be a time that you will fuck up, your employee will leave or something like this. So think in this way. This advice is only for 20% people. If I have to see there, you have to be a really good employer first. Then you can expect to people staying to your company and growing together, right? That will happen. So yes, be that guy, right? Be that guy. There is no fake. There is no shortcuts. There is no game or something. Yeah, there will be hiring. Like you can be smart. Use some tricks to hire, right? You can get referrals, right? Basically, your friends suggesting. Referrals is basically your friend setting up them. Then there will be tricks, which is like which will be hiring process, right? That we can follow. But somebody is retaining to you or something like this, that's hard. And a company, you don't want to be interviewing a lot of people and switching a lot of people. You want to be stable, right? If you keep hiring people who are leaving soon and just changing, right? But there are companies who work on daily wages, right? If you are a construction guy or something and you want to find somebody who is in the field of construction, so there are kind of businesses which do good, which they don't require fixed employees. They need volunteers, right? Those companies are not very big companies. They are doing okay companies, right? There are, yeah, where you need this one or two. Like I don't remember any good company who required only there for 1 days or something like this. I have seen call centers and everything. There they don't feel like, only like if they hire 100, one or two will be going up, and they don't care about if they leave them or something, because they are very replaceable. So basically, as a woman, if you are, you don't need to hire somebody, or a woman should not be replaceable, right? So that is it. So hope I didn't bore you out, but that is a very good analogy. Somebody who has not been introduced to Red Pill, and you want to indirectly red pill him, tell him that women as employer and men as employer. If you tell them, if you just be think, sleep with this idea, compare it, see through your past experience, see the others people experience, and probably in the last you will agree to me. So that's it. See you in the next one.